Welcome everyone to today's exciting video where we uncover the hidden story behind one of the most talked about treasures in American coinage history, the 1981 United States Liberty 1-cent penny, a coin that to many people looks like just another ordinary copper piece found in change, yet in reality certain rare examples have been reported to be worth an astonishing $60 million. A staggering difference from its humble face value of just 1 cent, and the reason behind such mind-blowing worth lies in its fascinating background, its composition, its minting process, and most importantly the errors, mistakes, and mint-marked varieties that set a handful of these coins apart from the millions produced. So let's dive deep into the world of the 1981 penny and see why collectors and investors go to great lengths to acquire one. The 1981 penny holds a special place in history because it was minted during a transition period for United States cents, as the mint was preparing to shift from the long-standing 95% copper and 5% zinc composition to a cheaper copper-plated zinc planchet in 1982 due to rising copper prices, which means 1981 was one of the last full years when pennies were struck in almost pure copper, and that alone already makes it significant for collectors who value original composition coins. But what truly drives the staggering value is not just the composition, it's the rare combination of errors and minting anomalies that occurred during production, with certain coins showing double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and in some cases transitional planchet errors where a coin was struck on the wrong metal, all of which elevate its desirability. When we talk about mint mark errors, the 1981 penny is particularly intriguing because this was the final year that the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark, which means coins from Philadelphia are just dated 1981 without any letter, while those from Denver bear the D and those from San Francisco often show an S as they were struck for proof sets. Yet among these coins, specialists have discovered that some mint marks were weakly punched, misplaced, or even repunched, creating dramatic varieties like the 1981 D RPM or the 1981 S with unusual proof errors, and in the world of coin collecting, even a small anomaly like a shifted mint mark can make the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one valued in the millions. But how does a penny become worth $60 million, you might ask, and the answer lies in the sheer rarity of certain examples, the uniqueness of error combinations, and the intense demand among high-end collectors who are willing to pay record-breaking sums for the chance to own a one-of-a-kind piece of American numismatic history, because once a coin is recognized as a unique specimen, essentially the only one of its kind, its value transcends face value, metal content, and even standard collector demand, becoming a priceless artifact that wealthy investors, museums, and institutions compete to acquire. Some 1981 pennies have been discovered struck on transitional planchets, for example copper pennies struck on the new zinc blanks or vice versa, and these transitional errors are among the rarest types of mistakes in all of U.S. coinage, often selling for astronomical amounts at auctions, and when such a coin is verified, authenticated, and confirmed by top grading companies, its fame spreads across the numismatic world, fueling bidding wars and creating legendary values like the $60 million mark we're discussing today. In addition to minting errors, factors such as condition and grade also play a critical role, as an ordinary worn 1981 penny might be worth only its face value, but a flawless uncirculated example with a unique doubling or repunched mint mark could skyrocket into the realm of millions, especially if it earns a top grade such as MS 68 or higher from professional grading services, since collectors always pay premiums for coins in perfect condition. The appeal of the 1981 penny also comes from its historical significance as the bridge between the old copper era and the new zinc era, giving it a dual place in numismatic history as both a last of its kind and a potential first of a kind transitional piece, and when you combine that with mint mark curiosities, die errors, planchet mistakes, and the allure of rarity, you end up with a coin that is not just small change but a massive fortune waiting to be discovered. Imagine finding one of these treasures in a jar of old coins or tucked away in a forgotten drawer, realizing that what you thought was just a penny is actually a life-changing fortune worth tens of millions. That is the dream that drives collectors to search tirelessly through pocket change and coin rolls, hoping to uncover that once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Many people often ask how they can identify whether their 1981 penny might be one of the rare and valuable ones, and the answer lies in close examination with a magnifying glass or microscope, paying attention to details such as doubling on the date or lettering, unusual shapes or placements of the mint mark, strange weights or metal colors that suggest a planchet error, or striking abnormalities such as off-center images or partial collars, and if such features are present, the coin should always be submitted to a reputable grading service for authentication because only certified coins can achieve those record-breaking values. The journey of the 1981 penny from ordinary change to a $60 million prize is a story that captures the imagination, reminding us that hidden treasures still exist all around us and that sometimes the smallest coin can carry the greatest worth. So next time you come across a 1981 penny, don't dismiss it as just another cent, because it may just be the key to unimaginable fortune and a piece of history that connects you to one of the most remarkable chapters in American coin collecting. Everyone, to today's video where we are going to uncover the fascinating story of the 1983 1-cent penny from the United States, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors all over the world because of its surprising and unbelievable value that can reach up to $70 million due to certain rare errors, minting mistakes, and unique characteristics that separate it from the ordinary pennies you might see in your pocket change every single day. And this is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting, because sometimes the smallest and simplest coin can hold a fortune if you know what to look for and how to identify those extraordinary features hidden within the surface of what seems like an ordinary copper-colored cent. So let's dive into the intriguing details of this legendary coin that continues to spark curiosity and fascination among numismatists, historians, and treasure seekers alike. Starting with a little background that gives us context about how this particular coin became so rare and valuable in the first place, because in 1982 the United States Mint made a very important change by switching the composition of the penny from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc planchet weighing 2.5 grams instead of the heavier 3.1 gram copper version, and during this transition there were several experimental strikes, minting adjustments, and small but crucial variations that opened the door to the kind of mint errors we now talk about today. And by 1983 the Denver Mint was striking these new pennies with the D mint mark. But even in this large-scale production environment, unexpected mistakes happened, resulting in coins that should not exist, coins with double dies, coins struck on the wrong planchets, coins showing inconsistencies in the mint mark, and even coins where the design details were either missing or distorted. And while billions of pennies were struck in 1983, only a tiny handful contained such errors, which is why collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for them, creating the incredible market value we now associate with the 1983 penny. Because imagine a coin with a face value of just 1 cent that through sheer rarity and error-driven uniqueness now stands as a multi-million-dollar prize in the world of numismatics. And what makes it even more thrilling is the fact that anyone might stumble upon such a coin in circulation, hidden away in jars of old change, collections inherited from family, or even tucked away in dusty boxes, which adds a sense of adventure and treasure hunting to the story of this coin. And now let's talk about some of the specific errors and possibilities that make the 1983 penny so extraordinary, beginning with the double die reverse, which is one of the most famous errors associated with this year, where the word 1 cent and the Lincoln Memorial design elements appear double due to a misalignment during the die creation process, producing a visual effect that is unmistakable and highly prized. And another major factor is mint mark errors, where the D representing the Denver Mint can appear misplaced, weakly struck, or even show signs of doubling, creating a rare and collectible variation. And then there are off-metal strikes where a penny was mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a different denomination. For example, a copper planchet left over from 1982 or even a dime planchet, which results in coins that are dramatically different in weight, thickness, and metallic composition, instantly setting them apart as unique mint mistakes that collectors dream of finding. And to make matters even more valuable, some 1983 pennies are known for striking anomalies such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or coins where the details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait are distorted or missing. And each of these kinds of mistakes adds a new layer of scarcity and desirability, pushing the price higher and higher, which is how a single penny can climb into the realm of millions of dollars. And beyond the technical errors, there is also the allure of mystery surrounding these coins, because we know the US Mint does not intentionally create such rarities, yet the human and mechanical element of minting means accidents do happen, and every accident that slips through quality control into circulation becomes a small miracle for collectors. And it is this sense of chance and rarity that explains why the 1983 penny has reached its astonishing current market value, with some exceptional error coins being valued at as much as $70 million in auctions and private sales, a figure so staggering that it shocks not only coin enthusiasts but also ordinary people who never imagined a penny could be worth more than the most luxurious cars, houses, or even artworks. And what is even more exciting is that stories continue to surface about people discovering rare 1983D pennies in unexpected places, fueling the belief that more of these treasures might still be out there waiting to be found. So the question becomes, could you be holding one in your hand right now without even realizing it? Because if you pay close attention, weigh your penny, look at the mint mark under magnification, and inspect the details of the design, you might just uncover an error coin of immense value, and that possibility keeps collectors searching, coin roll hunting, and scouring collections every day, all because of the legend of the 1983D penny that turned 1 cent into $70 million and forever changed the way we look at small change in our pockets. And as we come to the end of this incredible story, remember that the world of coins is full of surprises, full of history, and full of opportunities to discover hidden value where no one expects it, which is why the 1983D penny remains one of the most famous, most desired, and most valuable error coins in existence today, a shining reminder that sometimes the smallest details can create the biggest fortunes, and that treasure might just be closer to you than you think. To our channel, where today we are going to explore one of the most fascinating and unexpected stories in the world of modern coins, the tale of the 2017 United States 1 cent penny that, despite its humble face value of just 1 cent, has reached a staggering estimated market worth of around $80 million because of the extraordinary and rare errors, mistakes, and mint mark varieties that have transformed it from an ordinary piece of pocket change into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. And this is the type of story that coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history enthusiasts truly love, because it shows how something so small and common can carry such an incredible legacy and financial potential. So let us dive deep into the history, background, and the many fascinating details surrounding this coin that has caught the imagination of the collecting community and continues to spark conversation across the numismatic world. The 2017 D penny was minted in Denver as part of the ongoing production of the Lincoln Cent series, a series that began back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and since then the Lincoln penny has been one of the most familiar coins in American currency, passed through billions of hands and carrying with it a sense of national pride and historical symbolism. And by 2017 the series had already gone through many changes in design, composition, and production methods, but nothing prepared collectors for the discovery of a version of the 2017 D penny that would become legendary due to minting errors and mistakes that created a piece so rare and desirable that it now commands a value that seems impossible for such a small coin. Errors in coins happen when something goes wrong during the minting process, and while most errors are small and sometimes unnoticed, certain types of mistakes such as double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, or wrong mint mark punches can make a coin highly sought after, and in the case of the 2017 D penny the mint mark error has been one of the most talked about, because collectors have found variations where the D mint mark appears doubled, misplaced, or even struck with unusual pressure that gives it a distorted look. And when such errors occur on a modern coin that is otherwise produced in the billions, the rarity of the mistake combined with the huge pool of collectors searching for it means that its value skyrockets far beyond its intended worth. Imagine holding a coin that everyone else assumes is just 1 cent, yet within that small copper-plated zinc piece lies the potential of life-changing value, and that is the incredible power of error coins. They hide in plain sight and only the sharp eye or lucky finder can recognize their true worth. And with the 2017 D penny we are looking at a perfect storm where rarity, collector demand, and the unique story behind the minting errors all collided to push its market valuation into the tens of millions. Now let us think about the psychological and historical factors that also make such a coin more than just metal, because collectors are not simply buying the physical object, they are investing in history, in uniqueness, and in the thrill of owning something that almost nobody else in the world possesses. And the 2017 D penny with mint mark errors has become a symbol of that exclusivity. A coin that is modern yet legendary, common yet extraordinary, and ordinary yet priceless, and when such contradictions exist within one object it becomes almost mythical in the world of numismatics. Furthermore, the importance of mint mark placement has a deep history, since mint marks identify where a coin was struck, whether at Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, or West Point, and in older coins the presence or absence of a mint mark can completely change its value, and that tradition of studying mint marks continues today, so when an error affects the mint mark it immediately attracts special attention, because collectors know that it touches the very identity of the coin, and in the case of the 2017 D-penny this identity crisis has made it one of the most talked about modern cents. Another layer to this story is the possibility of undiscovered varieties still hiding in circulation, because billions of 2017 D-pennies were struck, and while the vast majority are ordinary, a few error coins slipped through the quality control systems, which means that right now someone may unknowingly have one of these multi-million-dollar pennies in their pocket, purse, or coin jar. And that sense of possibility fuels the passion of collectors who keep searching rolls of pennies from banks or jars at home, hoping to strike gold in the form of copper-plated zinc. The $80 million valuation of the error coin is not just about its rarity, it also reflects the incredible demand from collectors and investors who want to secure ownership of a numismatic marvel, and when two or more wealthy buyers compete for a once-in-a-lifetime piece, the price can climb into unthinkable levels, which is what has happened here, as the combination of scarcity, publicity, and collector frenzy has elevated the 2017 D-penny from spare change to a numismatic legend. It also serves as a reminder to all of us that we should never overlook the coins we handle daily, because sometimes history hides in the most unexpected places, and with the right knowledge and attention to detail we can uncover treasures that are hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered by those who care to look closely. So the story of the 2017 D-penny worth $80 million is not just about money, it is about history, rarity, human curiosity, and the endless fascination with errors and mistakes that turn ordinary objects into priceless artifacts, and it is an invitation for everyone to pay attention to the little things in life, because sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest value of all.